Okay, so let's start. Um, okay, so Salesforce was co-founded by a person called Mark Benioff with three of his friends in a small apartment in San Francisco, US, in the year 1999. Okay, so the objective of Mark Benioff was to build a CRM software that could be accessible through internet connection. Okay, so um, these are some products of Salesforce: Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud. Okay, so clouds are nothing but it's under the same umbrella. These are separate applications. They have separate usages as per the market. So Sales Cloud, it has functionalities that helps you with the sales automation. There is Service Cloud that helps you with the support automation, right? And Marketing Cloud, where you can store your marketing campaigns and leads, things like that. Okay, so your marketing automation CRM. So this all can come under one roof. Okay, it's under the Salesforce platform itself. So before we go into what is Salesforce and where exactly Salesforce stands, first we need to understand some basics of cloud computing. Okay, I hope some of you might already be aware, but I would still like to go ahead and say a few words about cloud computing. So cloud computing, it is nothing but resources that can be available over internet connection. Okay, so cloud computing is the delivery of different types of services through the internet. Now, let's say you have to build an application, okay, in an on-premise model. Okay, on-premise model means at your own premises, you want to, have build an application. Then what will be your primary task? You would have to, uh, build a machine, or get yourself a machine, your infrastructure like your desktop, your internet connection, your electricity supply. Okay, so these are all your hardware, network, or server. Okay, these are the requirements you have. Okay, this is called your infrastructure requirements. So when you have the infrastructure set, okay, you would require a platform. Am I right? So once you have all the things necessary, like your internet connection, electricity supply, desktop, you would need a platform, uh, like your operating system, on top of which you would be building an application. Your system won't be running unless and until you have a platform, right? So the next comes your operating system layer. Okay, so operating system is a platform on top of which you build an application, and then finally on top of the operating system, you get your actual application and you can work on the application. Now, in an on-premise model, means that everything you need to set up manually. Okay, you have to gather technician and or get yourself the electricity supply and everything, and set up together all the wires and everything. But as a developer, we are not going to do everything manually. So we can get the resources from a service provider. Okay, so we will first buy the infrastructure, okay, from an infrastructure provider. There are many infrastructure providers like Amazon, Google Cloud, Azure, right, Microsoft Azure. So we don't want to invest huge money setting up the entire infrastructure on our own. Okay, we do not know how our business will grow, so I do not want to invest a huge cost. Okay, so we have infrastructure as a service. Okay, infrastructure is a service where you can get the virtual machines as a rental, like a subscription model. Okay, we also require a platform on top of which we want to build an application, like a development environment. So this also you can get it as a service. Okay, so when you want a development environment or a platform as a service, we call it PaaS, platform as a service. Okay, so it gives us basically a platform on top of which we can develop our applications or work on it. So basically Salesforce comes at this point where it is called a platform as a service. It gives us a platform on top of which we can develop our own applications. Okay. Next, Salesforce also gives us, pre-developed softwares, okay, so that we can directly access the services. Okay, let's say, for example, the Google Drive or our Gmail account. Okay, so Google is a service provider. These softwares are available to use over the internet, right? And is known as software as a service. Okay, so um, basically, the meeting that you're currently connected to, the Zoho meeting, or maybe Cisco WebEx meetings, Microsoft Teams, or your Spotify, Netflix, okay, all of this, it requires internet connection to work, and these are all pre-developed softwares, right? So you can categorize them under software as a service, right? So using cloud computing, we don't have to worry about our server, how to maintain my servers, my machines, when to update my machines periodically. We do not have to worry about anything. We just take the services as a rental in the form of a subscription model. Okay, like a Netflix, okay, where we can pay monthly and enjoy the services that they provide. Okay. And when my business grows, you know uh, in an on-premise model, I cannot scale up my machines instantly. I'll have to go to the market to get some new machines, bring a technician, ask them to set up the entire thing, right? Uh, but when you are working in a cloud computing model, okay, um, you do not need a dedicated technical support team to manage all your machines, or you don't need to purchase something from outside. So cloud computing gives me the advantage of scaling up my infrastructure anytime as per my needs. So today, let's say I have two machines at my place, I would like to scale up to 10 machines as and when my business grows. I need 10 servers. There's a great load on the servers, right? So then we can scale up instantly in a cloud computing model. Okay, that is not possible in the on-premise model, right? There is a lot of trouble in that. Got it? This is just a basic of cloud computing. Now we come to uh, our part of the discussion, that is a customer relationship management. Okay, it's called a CRM. Okay, so what is CRM? So CRM stands for, as you saw, customer relationship management, and it's a pre-developed software like your, Zoho meeting, right? Right now we are connected, or Google Meet. So, but the purpose of the CRM is to store, contact information like names, addresses, phone numbers. Okay, so in the old days, it was only a address book. Okay, it was only called an address book. The term CRM was non-existent before 1990s. The term was basically coined in the year 1995. Okay, so previously it stored only contact information, but as time evolved, so we needed more information about the customers that could be stored. Okay, to engage more customers into my business and expand my business, I would have to target more and more customers, know their interests, know their likes and dislikes, follow up again and again, right? And if someone has shown interest in any of my products, okay, I'll have to try to convince that customer, right? I also needed to know the customer activity, what type of customers would be more interested in my product, so as to achieve a targeted marketing. So now CRM had to store, much more information than what an address book used to do, right? So it's a huge amount of data about your customers, their likes, their dislikes, their activities, your calls, your messages, your emails, everything you need to, you want under one place. Okay. So any application or initiative designed to help people, to help an organization optimize interactions with customers, suppliers, or prospects. Okay, this is a definition of your CRM. Now let me give you an a very good scenario without a CRM platform. So how would it have been if there was no CRM? Let's say, for example, there are three salespeople: John, Tom, and David. Okay, and John stores all the information, all the data in his smartphone. Tom, he stores them in an Excel sheet, and David, he scribbles down in a notepad. And there's one person called Bob. Okay, and Bob is the manager. He's the sales manager, and he overlooks John, Tom, and David. Got it? So Bob now needs to know the customer details that is handled by all the sales representatives, how many products were sold by each of the representatives, right? How many inquiries were converted to customer in the current quarter. So these are the information that Bob needs to know from these salespeople. Now, what are some common issues, okay, that we might be facing in such scenarios? First issue is the data version issue. Since John is storing the data in a smartphone, Tom in an Excel sheet, and David in a notepad, we have data in different versions in different formats. Okay, so the versioning of the data is different for different people. Next is tracking. So let's say John lost his mobile phone, okay, and Tom went for a vacation, and David, he forgot where he has kept his notepad. So in all these scenarios, we would lose the critical information, right? The information about the customers, the information about the sales. So which are very important to us. We would lose those information. So tracking was an important, it's a common issue without the CRM platform. Another issue is about sharing. So let's say, for example, if John, Tom, and I've just taken the examples of John, Tom, and David, but there will be people, hundreds of people, salespeople, who are communicating to customers every day. So what happens is, if there is no CRM software, what will happen? Let's say, for example, there is one customer. So John calls up that customer, and he tries to pitch in to that customer, saying if that customer would like to be interested in some of the products, and he starts explaining about the products. So the customer says that, um, I'm very busy right now, you can call me later at some point, maybe after 2 days or after 3 days, we can have a discussion, but please, I'll not be able to continue the discussion right now, call me later, right? And so John has stored this information that he has to follow up with the customer after 2 days. Now Tom is unaware of it. Okay, Tom does not know what communication John has done. So what does Tom do? Just after a few minutes, Tom again calls up the same customer, okay, and again tries to pitch to the customer, saying like, okay, I'm calling from this company, and I'm trying to we have such products which would be of great help if you would purchase it. So the customer, you can understand that the first time he has already said that he is very busy in some urgent work, and he would like the other person, John, who had already called up once, he had already said that call me after 2 days. So but Tom, when he calls up again the second time, the customer will get irritated, right? He will get angry, he will get furious, because two people from the same company, already he has communicated to one of them, again another person has called from the same company. So that means the customer will be most likely be moving away from the business. So we'll lose such customers if there is no sharing between the people, right? Now, how these problems are solved with a CRM? So let's say John, he stores the information in a CRM database. Tom and David, they also do the same thing. And Bob, instead of waiting to get a response from the salespeople, what he can do, he can directly log into the CRM database, and he can track all the activities of John, Tom, David. He can see how many leads have been converted to customers, how many sales have been done in the last quarter. Okay, so how many customers have been handled by each of the representatives. So he'll get an information about this all these things directly by logging in into the CRM, because it's all there in the CRM database, right? So CRM, it stores the customer interactions, like your contact information, email, phone calls, right? It also can help you with the report creation. You can create reports and dashboards, graphs, charts with the data that you have already stored in the CRM. We can get email notifications, we can schedule for email notifications, we can get reminders. Okay, so these are all can be made automatic with the process automation techniques. And there are some other things of a CRM. For example, there is something called web to lead. That means in your website you can just put a small form saying, if you're interested in the product, please fill out this form, your name, your phone number and email. So when you fill it up in the main website, what it will do, it will directly connect to the Salesforce CRM, and it will store the information. So that's called a web to lead. Okay, from the website directly to the CRM, you have that you know um, information as your lead. So you'll have to approach that lead and try to convert that lead to a customer, right? Now, the benefits of a CRM is that it increases sales revenue, it increases visibility between the departments. Increases visibility meaning there will be, uh, let's say, the sales department, the service department, marketing department, right? So, if there is a better visibility among the departments, it also increases your sales revenue. Okay, how does it do that? So, let's say, for example, there is a service. The service people, he utilizes that there is a cross sell opportunity. That means you can probably sell that customer something. So if a service person knows that this is the mindset of the customer, if you can convince that customer will likely to go for something new. Let's say, for example, the service person knows that, let's say we are selling some generators, or we are selling some products. So the product has been outdated right now, and you can easily convince the customer because he has the need for a new product, and he is willing to purchase, but he has not taken the initiative, but he is coming to the service desk for getting it repaired every now and then. So the service people, he recognizes that there is a upsell opportunity, right? You can probably convince that customer to sell, right? So there, if there is much more visibility between the departments, it can increase your revenue from your sales, from your service, from your marketing, right? So there's a increased visibility, I would say. There would be a decrease in the operating cost. Okay, you can streamline your business process. So these are all the features of a CRM. Now, in the market, if you go, there are multiple CRM softwares available today, like Viva CRM. We used Siebel CRM. Okay, um, Zoho also, I think, has their own CRM, right? But in the market currently, the number one CRM platform globally, it's Salesforce. Okay, because Salesforce is not just a CRM right now. They have grown so big that they call it a customer success platform. So it extends the capabilities of a CRM, and it is much more than a CRM. Okay, so it's about the complete information about customers, complete storage of customers, creating of websites, creating of portals. Many things are there. Okay, so, what is the Salesforce CRM? So, Salesforce is a cloud based CRM platform where users can log in using their internet connection and their browser to access the inbuilt applications and customize existing applications. What it means? Salesforce gives you some inbuilt applications, some standard applications they have already installed for you. Okay. So, when you log into Salesforce, you would find that some um, you know uh, some software, some applications have already been developed for you, and you also get the option to create new applications. You also get the option to customize the existing applications. So that means it is both software as a service, because you're getting inbuilt applications, and also you can create new applications. So you get a platform on top of which you can create your application. So that's why you can call it platform as a service as well. So Salesforce will come in in both the places of platform as a service as well as software as a service, right? So these are some of the benefits: tracking the business development activities of salespeople, reporting on the customer interactions through case management, reporting on the effectiveness of marketing initiatives, collaborating between employees, partners, and customers, integrating with other applications like an external system, right? So maybe mostly businesses, they have their own website, they have their own portals, their own systems. So why will they choose Salesforce? Because Salesforce can easily integrate with other applications as well. So you can have Salesforce integrate to your current legacy platform, or your already existing external system. Let's say you're using SAP and there's Salesforce, so you can integrate SAP and Salesforce both together, right? You can develop new applications on Salesforce. Okay, so these are some of the benefits of the Salesforce as a CRM. Now, just to give you an overview of the Salesforce application. So this is, let's say, the entire platform of Salesforce. On the Salesforce platform, you get one part of it is the CRM. So when we call it CRM, that means it's the standard applications that are by default available to you. Okay. So CRM is a customer relationship management tool. So these are the standard applications that you get by default installed, predefined. It's installed in the system, and part of it are the sales cloud, service cloud. So these are all the different clouds. Clouds are nothing but applications that helps your particular business line. Okay. So also you can create your custom applications. So the Salesforce as a platform, it also gives you the opportunity to create or customize your own applications as per your own requirements. There's something called an app exchange. So what is app exchange? Just like your in Android, you get your Google Play Store. In your Apple, you have the Apple Store, right? So you can go there and download your applications and install on your smartphones. So similarly, this here in Salesforce, let's say you have some requirement, some business requirement, and that is not available out of the box, so it's not a standard functionality, and you also do not have that time or expertise to develop a new application from scratch. So what you do, you go to App Exchange and you download one of the applications, and just in a plug and play model, start using it. So it reduces your development time. You do not need a development time, and you can have access to various useful applications developed by other people. And also you can also create some applications and put it up on App Exchange. So the products that are available on App Exchange might be paid products, and as well as it can be free products. Okay, so it depends on your business requirement what products you need to use. So some of them you can directly get available on the App Exchange, right? And some more features are there in the Salesforce. So about the architecture of the platform, it's a multi-tenant architecture. Okay, so to understand what is a multi-tenant architecture, multi-tenant architecture means it's a shared architecture. Billions of people are having access to a common architecture. Okay, sharing the common resources. For example, let's say you are residing in a society or in an apartment. Okay, so in that area, there is a swimming pool, there is a parking lot, there is a park where your children can play. So that the swimming pool or the park or the parking lot is not just for your own use, it is for the other people who are residing in that apartment, who are residing in that society as well, right? So those are all shared resources. It's not just your own access to those things, it's a shared access where all the people can have the access. So similarly here in Salesforce as well, we share the infrastructure, we share the platform, and we share the application. Okay, so that's why it is called a multi-tenant architecture. Okay, by sharing, I do not mean that we will be sharing the data as well. I just mean that we will be sharing the hardware, like your processor. Okay, let's say for a computer, um, uh, let's say you have a machine in a laptop, and in a laptop you are using the same um, processor, you are using the same RAM, you are using the same OS, but you are having two different accounts with two different datas on it. Okay, so two different people are accessing that, two different users are there, right? So similarly here also, what happens is, um, maybe you will not be able to physically see it. There are data centers where the servers are hosted. So logically it will look like it's different, but physically if you see, you will see that maybe in one particular place there are uh, 10 different environments working together for 10 different companies. Okay, but they are very careful in maintaining that the data do not overlap, so you will not get access to the data, it's completely isolated. There is a logical isolation that happens between them, but they are using the same resource, as in shares, sharing the CPU, sharing the memory. Okay, so things like that. Got it? That's a multi-tenant architecture. Next is about Salesforce. When I describe, the most important thing about Salesforce is that I know, for example, till 2019, 2018, 19, 20, Salesforce was rewarded as the most innovative company in the world. Okay, the reason for that is that Salesforce continuously evolves. They have kept it a strategy to bring out three upgrades in a year. Okay, so automatic upgrades you will get three times in a year. They call it the spring release, the summer release, and the winter release. So every 4 months you will see some more features added to Salesforce. Okay, so when you are in the Salesforce domain or technology, you will have to keep yourself upgraded when there is a new release. Okay, because you will find more interesting features have been launched. Okay, so there is something good that it has been something good has happened, some improvements are there, right? So they have been rewarded the three times in a row. They are called the most innovative um, company, as well as they bring out the automatic upgrades. And this it's like a subscription model, so there is no large capital or start off fee. You can scale up your business as it grows. Okay, there is a fixed and predictable cost in a subscription model.